Team USA is taking on Venezuela right now. We're going to be joining the game live. Come watch along with Dan and I as we watch, hopefully, Nolan McLean lead us to the chip. Next on Metcast. What's going on, Mets fans? Welcome back to a spring training edition / WBC Finals with Dan and I of Metcast. If it's your first time here, please subscribe. Give the video a like. It's the best way to support our content. Dan McLean is dealing early, almost hitting triple digits on multiple pitches. Exciting to see him tonight in the biggest of moments. I mean, that's what baseball is all about, right? I have my Yankee fan friends and family dogging me all day long. Talk to your boy. I said, how about you tell your boy Aaron Judge to hit with runners in scoring position? Don't worry about my guy here, but it's great to see high leverage situation early on in his career. We'll get to your opinion, and then I want to get to Carlos Mendoza's thoughts as we're watching here.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day, too, for all those who celebrate. Luck of the Irish, McLean, certainly. And, yeah, no, it's a good game. Good day. Certainly better outing than last time out against Italy for him. The sweepers dancing, the fastball's doing its thing. It's lively, 99. So, yeah, it looks good early. Let's hope the USA can hang in and bring home a championship.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because we saw Carlos Mendoza's comments earlier. Said he was kind of, iffy on, I guess, who he's cheering for. He's like, obviously, it's Nolan. I want him to do well, but he might be rooting for his hometown team here in Venezuela, and everybody knows a lot of my family's from Venezuela as well, so conflicting there, but I am USA all the way. It's funny because a few years ago, I don't feel like we were as this hyped about the WBC. Maybe it's because our guy is pitching in it, so it's something great to watch, but I don't know. There's a different air this year. I feel like there's a lot of sore losers going around right now. Obviously, our guy Juan Soto, we saw the best. We clearly showed who the best team on the field was, but you lost. So, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he's a sore loser for that." I'm not terribly sure about that.
Looks like a pass ball there. Do I put that on the catcher again? I watched this on mute. It was close, probably a wild pitch actually on McLean. Looking back at it, but yes, runners advance. That thing just moves like crazy. I mean, Will Smith has a job back there, and he's catching a pitch that is moving just ridiculous video game like stuff. So the Mets are fortunate, to have this guy in McLean, but. Yeah, as they will score their run here on a sacrifice fly, the runners advance, and it is a 1-1 game.
I will say this. I mean, you're looking at the pitching staffs, even Severino. Like, this is supposed to be an all-time great lineup we're watching here with Team USA. And Luis Severino, who was terrible last year, clearly regresses his time as being a Met, and they couldn't touch him. It's really weird how things like that happen.
Yeah, it's very weird. And we talk about national pride with these games, and it's very important. Like, I'm not saying that the Americans don't care about their country. They're probably equally as patriotic as any country in this tournament. Just because they're not going above and beyond and screaming and yelling and bat flipping, that's all great. But being reserved, doing what Paul Skeens does, doing what Aaron Judge does, where these guys celebrate, they'll clap, they'll give you a fist pump, but it's very reserved. And I think that kind of what we're seeing too.
Yeah, well, you haven't won anything yet. I mean, it was nice that the DER was doing all things like that. And I remember, for a long time, guys like Cespedes and Yasiel Puig would get their teammates in trouble because they would hit a home run and they'd be throwing the bat. And it's one thing if you're Jose Bautista, it's in the postseason. I could see that. And maybe, I don't know what you feel about it, but, and I know a lot of Met fans might not want to hear it, but I agree with Derek Jeter in his comments today. A lot of players out there saying they would rather win a WBC than a World Series. And Jeter's like, that's because you've never won a World Series, as McLean gets the ground out.
Yep.
I mean, his offense
Arias.
needs to wake up.
Yeah,
That's
Arias
all
keeps
I know.
going. No, listen, it's a bunch of I think a lot of it is people just in the moment getting excited, saying the WBC is awesome. You heard that from Aaron Judge too. He put himself in some deep water when he said the crowds in that game against the DR were up there with the World Series. I mean, I think it is borderline, I don't want to say blasphemous, but it's that level because, again, you spend 6 months with your major league team. The Mets are together longer than they are with their families most of these seasons. So it I think ask any fan, it's kind of an easy answer, and I think ask any player, it should be an easy answer. But when you ask them in the middle of the WBC, sure, the emotions are going to get the best of them, and they're probably going to say that the WBC takes, precedent there. But in reality, it should not. They're not paying your salary. They're not.
Well, that's what's interesting.
It's like what are we really talking about here?
I totally agree with you. I don't know. All I know is I want to win this game. I'm tired of.
Sure.
I will say this. One thing I'm tired of, Dan. I'm tired of everybody for everything crapping on the U.S. For me, it's a lot of pride here, and I guess a lot of people have pride for, their countries as well. So I was talking to family members. They're all watching, but they're from Venezuela, so they're rooting for Venezuela. But the games are played here.
Right.
Time to win.
And again, these games show America's the team to beat. They came into the tournament as the odds-on favorite. We're not making things up. They're the team to beat in this tournament. They're in the finals for a reason. It kind of goes to show the countries too. And we talk about how great it is to be in this country. I mean, it's very a big blessing. And I think a lot of the players in this tournament recognize that they want to beat the United States. And what a huge win it would be for Venezuela if they can pull this off. I got to see them when they opened up the WBC against Israel in their first game of pool play. They were a good team. Luis Ariz went 3 for 4, had 2 home runs. Random guys on random nights can go off for this team. So maybe it's not the Acuna show, but maybe it's the Salvador Perez show as we're seeing early on. So it's going to be a good game.
What do you make? You know how we always talk about, managers making decisions that absolutely baffle you? What do you make of Henderson, who's hitting like 1,000, not playing?
Yeah, I think it is ridiculous. Again, he was the star of the show. Him and Roman Anthony in that 2-1 win. They were the offense. Feels a little weird that he's not there, but I'm not too upset about it. Like, again, Bregman's a winner. He needs to kind of be back in the fold. If you told me Gunnar Henderson's coming off the bench in a big spot, I'd rather that than say we're putting in Bregman in a big spot late game. So, it's just kind of that decision that is a little bit confusing on the surface, but Bregman's the guy that's been there. Henderson, in a lot of respects, is not. So, that's kind of how I see it.
Let's see what we got here. The triangle defense. I'm like 30 seconds behind you guys. It's just weak contact. I mean, Rodriguez has, in my opinion, he hasn't been a great pitcher. Was never even a great pitcher since he was in the National League.
Mm-hmm. And I want to be honest too. Like, there is a large generation of fans on the older side that look at these games, and I'm not saying they're wrong because I see the side of it too. It's funny how I think about Top Golf in the same way. It's not the same sport. Top Golf to me is not real golf. It's just not. It's fun to have fun with your friends, and it's a leisure event. You can have some drinks, food. It's great. But when you talk about real golf, going out there and playing, a lot different. Same thing with the WBC to an extent. This is real baseball. Not saying it's not. There's umpires, there's big crowds, there's a lot of, advertising. It's well done as a tournament. But it's also not real baseball. These guys are jumping up and down, celebrating, showboating. It's all cool. But you see more of this stuff in a Savannah Bananas game than you do a Major League Baseball game. So I get the older generation just saying, I'm not watching this tournament. This is ridiculous. Wake me up when it's the World Series. So I get both sides of it, but I try to bring in people to this tournament because it's just so cool. You got the countries, the flags, the parts of it are cool. So I get it. And there's also problems in the world too. People don't want to watch these teams. I mean, I'm not going to go down that, rabbit hole, but Baseball is not the focal point of the United States right now. There's other things outside of the game, but I think a big part of this is just getting ready for opening day. I think that's what we should use it as, because they're not moving it to the All-Star break. As much as we plead for that to happen, as much as I petition, guys, you got to make this during the All-Star break. Do what they do in the NHL. They make the All-Star break a little bit longer. If we have to add on a couple days, that's not the end of the world. These guys need rest. They play 162 games. So put it in the middle of the season. Make the WBC every 3 years. Make it this big event. Maybe every year. I wouldn't mind that either. But don't put it now. That's the problem. I think a lot of people don't like the showboating aspect. A lot of people don't like the fact that it is right now. And I could see both sides of both of those arguments, Ray. I really can. What are your thoughts on that? The timing of it, and then just like the showboating, which I imagine you think is pretty cool anyway. But
You want the WBC every single year?
maybe not every year, but if we're going to do it every 3 years, which is perfectly
Well,
standard.
aren't they trying to get it back in the Olympics?
28, yeah. Well, that's already in because it's in our country, so the host country gets to choose the sports. But if it's not, when it's in, I forget, 20. You guys would know this at home. I think it's Utah or something, Salt Lake in 2032, and SoFi. There's some other ones. I might have to look it up. But again, I think when you do the WBC every 3 years, put it in the All-Star break. There is no reason that these players should be risking injury before they begin their major league seasons. There's too much money on the line. We saw that with Edwin Diaz in 2023. This is not a risk these players should be taking. One other part of that too, a big downside of this tournament, and I think it's very well done. Want to make that clear. These pitchers are all on pitch restrictions. They are all being told by their major league teams. Mark DeRosa's in the ear of all these teams saying, hey, you can only start this guy 2 innings. This guy can only go 2 ups, 50 pitches, whatever the case is. There's so many standards and handcuffs on these guys. If you do it during the All-Star break, all of those guardrails are off. You're already in the middle of the season. Nolan McLean has 100 innings under his arm already. He's ready to go. So that's my
They're swinging at
little TED
everything.
talk. There's a fly out to end the inning, but
And not to cut you, they're just swinging at everything.
yeah.
You know what's funny? And you realize a lot of these guys are not playoff caliber players. Also, what you said, I was talking with my father-in-law today about it. I said, he's like, what do you think about McLean? And I'm like, well, the guy's now got 2 starts under his belt, high stress situations. What if we got to October? He's got 2 extra starts. Guys are already, we saw what happened. That's one thing. We saw what happened to this Mets rotation down the stretch last year. McLean's never thrown that many pitches, that many innings. He's already going to have probably 10 innings ripped right off the bat. 2 starts right off the bat. So, yeah, you could say, well, he'll be in midseason form earlier. That's nice. But what if it's October? What if the Mets win a series or 2? That could take its toll, too. It's just a very strange time to have it. I know it's when the players collectively bargain to have it. But for me, it's a very strange time to have it. It just is. Like, Paul Skeens has never been in a high leverage situation, at the major league level. Obviously at LSU he has, but they're not projected to be well into October. It's different as a hitter. You get time off. I mean, think about it. Juan Soto could take the whole week off now. It's different when you're a hitter, in my opinion. Throwing all those high leverage situations as a pitcher, like you said, you're more apt to get a season-ending injury as a pitcher rather than a hitter. I mean, it was in celebration, but go back and look at the Edwin Diaz situation. That catapulted our entire season right into the ground, in my opinion.
A lot of this is just injuries. I'm looking out for the health of these players, right? It's a risk that you don't have to take. I think we all can agree with that. If we move it to the middle of the season, a lot of these risks obviously are still there. You're playing an extra game of baseball. That's always going to be a risk, but you can kind of mitigate it because you're already going. The engine's already started. So right now, a lot of these guys are not 100%. And they can play. USA on 70% effort or 70% health, if you will, can still beat most of these countries at 100%. But nobody in this tournament is 100% ready to go for opening day yet. So I think that's a big part of it too. Just a downside for me. I would rather these guys were in camp with their teams, getting to know their teammates that they're going to be with for 6 months. I'm not trying to make it anything outside of just the health of these players. And yeah, the showboating and stuff can get to some people. It personally doesn't get to me, but I know people firsthand that are very turned off by that idea that you get to just celebrate and Juan. So, I mean, really quick too, Ray, we got to address one of the elephants in the room. Juan Soto, after their game, pulled a Nate McKinnon in USA versus Canada hockey, the same exact thing. He said, "Who was the best team? We showed you basically last night. The best team."
I'm sure
on
Toronto's thought the same thing in the World Series. They were 1 out away.
So, and you had Soto saying the same thing after that game where Team DR was the best team on that field. We showed that last night, and a lot of people can easily push back on that and say, Juan, you're a great player. You're one of the greatest players to ever play the game, but you lost. So the best team was the one walking away and playing in Miami right now. So there's a little bit of weird stuff with that. But overall, love the WBC. This is awesome for baseball. I have a WBC shirt on right now.
It's also getting more fans involved in the game, right? That's a part of it. And I want to put this out there too. If you guys have comments and questions you want to talk about the Mets, we're all ears tonight. It's more of a watch along. Talk about the up and coming season. I see some people being a little critical. Harvey, have you guys ever played baseball? You all talk more analytics than anything. That's the new generation. And yes, I played all the way through high school. I'm not sure about Dan, but Dan's a broadcaster who's broadcasting all through college. So, and he covers the sport through the post. So, yeah, Harvey, we have played, but it's a new generation. It's about OPS. It's about WAR. It's about that's what it is. I mean, we just got to go with the times. The days of strictly sitting here talking about batting average are over. Not that it doesn't matter at all, because I'm more of an old school soul. I like batting average. Part of the reason why I wanted the Mets to add a Bo Bichette, because I did that. We did this a few weeks ago, Dan, on the show. For anybody who's new here, we were talking back in 2007, I believe it was. There were 27 hitters in Major League Baseball that hit over 300. And last year there was 7, I believe. Mm-hmm. So, it's a new day and age. Talking about analytics, we talk about it all. But again, if you guys want to talk anything about Mets, anything on your mind, I see somebody asked in the comments, Alexis, what's going to happen with Mark Vientos? I'll tell you one thing. Don't shoot the messenger, Dan. I said it last offseason. I said it last trade deadline. Get rid of this guy. And I'm not saying he's not going to be a good player, but his at-bats here are going to be extremely limited. He has no options left. You can't send him to AAA Syracuse. You literally can't. And if he doesn't hit, he's going to tank his value. Now he's hitting like 060 this spring. He didn't hit all of last year. I know a lot of people like to sit here and say, well, look at 2024, what he did in the postseason. I get it. But it's 2026.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a long time ago, 2024. Baseball is a what have you done for me lately? The bad teams sit there and say, look at what a guy did 2 years ago. You don't see the Dodgers doing that. The Dodgers went out and got arguably a top 3 closer in Scott in the entire Major League Baseball last year, paid him $20 million a year. It didn't work out. One season, they threw him to the Wolves and go and get Edwin Diaz. And I'm telling you now, if Edwin Diaz sucks next year, they will go out and get the next great guy. That's what great organizations do. I mean, we all wanted the Kyle Tucker. For me, getting Kyle Tucker still shouldn't have prevented the Mets from getting Bo Bichette. I know a lot of people think I'm nuts for that, but you want to compete with the Dodgers, you got to build lineups like that. I mean, we could sit here and talk with the Dodgers all day long. Obviously, we're competing in the East. We got to worry about the East first before worrying about the West. I totally understand that, but we also can't be naive about it. It's gonna be the Dodgers are damn good, and they're not going anywhere.
No, absolutely not. Ohtani's going to be good for the next 5 years at least. We got to really worry about him, at least until he's 37. He's 32. still think he's going to be good until then, maybe until he's 40. Maybe it's a solid 8 to 9 year window that we're really looking at the Dodgers as a real threat. And they have a great farm system, as they do every year. They're going to be able to replenish it, which the Mets are being able to do at this point. David Stearns, when he last spoke, said it's almost at that point. He feels as an organization they can turn over talent year to year now, something that they could not do in the past. So yeah, the best teams go out there and acquire, obviously, which is important, to go out and get the best talent, to have the money to spend, which the Mets do. You did that with Juan Soto, clearly. If you can lock up Freddie Peralta, I think that kind of completes the mission of what the Mets can truly do. They can build up 2 top prospects in Jet Williams and Brandon Sproat. They can develop those 2 top prospects. They can trade those 2 top prospects and then receive a good pitcher in return, or a good player in return. I think this will be a cycle that we see, and eventually maybe you sign some of those players that you acquire into long-term contracts, like we might see with Freddie Peralta this year. But that's a topic that we don't talk about enough. We are close to opening day, and usually this is the window when these extensions happen, and it's slowly passing us by that this guy is not going to be extended by the Mets. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but remember me telling you this when we're sitting here in a month and there's still been no pen to paper. There might be a reason for that. And we've talked about this on Metcast. Tarek Skubal, he just continues to come to mind. He's pitching, not tonight, but he is on the same team playing tonight. And those are the guys you should consider. And also just about our baseball background. Yeah, I've played baseball my whole life. I played baseball at the collegiate level. Manager. I did not play. I'm not in the reference books, but yeah, COVID hit and there was that my generation. I did not have a graduation. So there was that kind of problems along the way. If that never happened, maybe it's a little bit of a different story. Ray is a different co-host, and maybe I'm one of the top prospects they're talking about. But no, I just think it kind of all worked out the way that it should. But yes, we know ball. We've been around the game for our whole lives, and nothing's going to change about that. So, and we love golf too.
We've only been covering the team for 3.5 years.
Yeah, no, it's been good. And listen, we feel like we've been around a long time with Metcast and stuff. We did spaces and we've kind of gotten away from those more to YouTube and stuff, which has been great. But we're still in our infancy, if you will. We're still learning and trying to try new graphics and stuff. We're not a finished product by any means. So we appreciate anybody at home interacting with us, as we do most of these nights. So we appreciate you guys.
My gosh, Bryce Harper is terrible. Shout out to Coleman in Georgia. I see you commenting down there. Appreciate you. I want to watch these at bats, as you have, I guess USA's big 3 here. You got Harper, Judge, Bregman. I'm like 30 seconds behind you, so who knows?
Well, Harper just grounded out, so you're probably ahead of me.
No, I'm watching it right now. He just grounded out right there. He's terrible. Maybe the general manager was right. He'll never be a superstar again.
Hey, Harper, $330 million overpaid, and he's like, "Shut that."
Remember, every Yankee fan wanted him.
They still do. I think, real quick, and that's a good segue, Ray. There's been a lot of Yankee fans over this WBC specifically that have come clean, and they have come clean in the sense that I didn't think they ever would. Yankee fans are finally admitting something that we always knew. They miss Juan Soto.
Oh, yeah.
They miss him very much. And they tried to play it off this past season like, oh, we don't miss him in Queens. And he was quietly having a season right up there with Aaron Judge, and had more home runs as a Met than he did as a Yankee, something people said he could never do because of the dimensions. He did it all. And he stole 38 bags, and he quietly had this unbelievable season. And Yankee fans still stood tall with their chests out as they went to the playoffs. And, oh, we don't miss Juan Soto. And look where we are today. I think most of those Yankee fans, if you ask them today, they'll be pretty honest about it. After this WBC, yeah, we miss the guy. We miss him pretty bad. So, sorry, he's a Met now. But as we have Aaron Judge up to the plate here, as this crowd's going wild, man. It's that Venezuelan crowd. They really bring it. Really do. As Judge, a lot of people getting on him, and I want to be clear, he's no David Wright. want to be, but no, I think we kind of overlook it and say like David Wright was Captain
Oh
America.
my gosh, what a terrible swing by
Yeah.
Judge. Sit your tall ass down. He is terrible in the clutch.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we look at both him and David Wright, both consummate professionals, Team USA, the whole thing. But I think Aaron Judge represents they're in the WBC finals. I believe his bloop base hit was only to get them to the semifinals. It was a win in the quarterfinals. Like, is that really a big moment? Yes, absolutely. But Aaron Judge is the best player in the world. David Wright never had that title. You know, he always, I mean, there was always a better player, and that's always the thing that he ran into. The problem with Aaron Judge is he doesn't have the ring, sure, but he was always named the best player. You know, Shohei always existed. He ran into that trouble with it winning MVP and stuff like that. But undeniably, Aaron Judge is the best hitter I've ever seen from the right side. I'll raise my right hand. I have not seen a better right-handed hitter in my life.
Have.
Well, who?
Ready for this? And it's
I
perfect
could name-
timing. And it's not even close, in my
Yeah.
opinion. He was way better. Not even
Okay.
close. Albert Pujols. It's not even close. Listen to these seasons. Ready? How many of these? In 2003, Albert Pujols. Ready for this? 43 homers, 51 doubles, and he hit 359.
Judge has had some good.
You're like, oh, it's
average
just one year. The
stuff.
next year, 46 homers, 123 RBIs, 331. The following year, 41 homers, 330. The following year, 49 homers, 331. The following year, 327. The following year, 37 homers, and he hit 357. The greatest right-hand hitter I've ever seen. He hit, ready for this? He hit 320 or better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See if he did it again. 8 times 320, Dan, or better, while hitting 40 plus bombs.
That's insane. No, you're right. I get it. I hear you.
And oh, by the way, he won a World Series.
Yeah, he did. He did. Pujols again was a great player. Aaron Judge again, like some of these years, giving you 62 and 131 with an 1100 OPS, 58 and 144 with an 1100 OPS, 52 and 114 with an 1000 OPS, 37 and 75.
Aaron Judge has had an 1100 OPS 1, 2, 3 times in his career, which is that's insane.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Let's see, Pujols.
How many times did he have an 1100 OPS?
1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Huh. There you go. So again,
let's see how many times OPS in the OPS plus in the 200s. That's like the big signal. Judge has got 1, 2, 3. Pujols
he does not have any.
200. What?
He has none in the 200s.
Yep, none. Oh well. Did I just see it? No. Still, when you compare their, I mean, it's insane what Pujols has done. You know what's killed Judge too is his injuries, bro. Look, I mean, he's been in the league now. This is year 10 coming up, and he's got 27, 155, 112, 102, 28, 148, 157, 106. So he's missed time in 1, 2. Obviously, it's the deadened season. He only played 28 games. 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I guess he came up late. So we'll go 6 out of his 10 years he's missed time. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
He's only at 368 homers.
I know, well, he got
Pujols has 700 and change.
yeah. No, I hear you. I yeah, I don't know. Judge also, to his credit, started later. Pujols has a 3-year start on Judge, but I get it. I do. It's anyone in the
Ready for
chat right
this?
now.
This is the stat for you. This
Give
is
us
what
your
it is.
best
A lot of
right-handed
it's injuries. He had Aaron Judge 40 home run seasons. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 by age 33. Pujols has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Double. It's all about health, you know? It's a lot.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, best right-handed hitter I've ever seen in my life. And the guy, like, I would love to see his runners in scoring position average. Pujols.
Good debate. It's a good debate. I want to hear your guys in the comments. Who is your best right-handed hitter of all time? And I would love to get
How many times did I say he hit 320?
4?
8 times, something like that.
More, 8. Yeah, I think that was the number 8.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Oh, that's gone.
Oh.
8 times, and Judge has done it once. Twice.
McLean. Guys, USA down 2-0. If you're not watching this game, turn it on.
Well, look at these lineups. If he goes 5 innings and gives up 2 runs, what more can you ask against these international teams that are loaded? Like, where's this USA lineup?
They got to step up. Offense is going to win this game. We knew that McLean, at least I think most
AJ,
of us.
trade this bum.
Listen,
AJ, GW, we are not cooked. We got Aaron Judge, the great clutch man himself.
The offense again is going to have to win this game. If you thought McLean was throwing 8 shutout in the WBC final, I don't know they're just not going to let him do that. Number 1, but 2, that's a lot to ask. I think if we got 5 or 6 innings out of him, I would have been very happy. But for us to sit here and say that McLean is washed or this is going to affect him moving forward, this is a learning experience, regardless of how this game goes, because of a couple things, right? They don't pay McLean's salary. So for him, he can go back home and say, it was a tough game, but at the end of the day, my focus is on the Mets, which is important. Number 2, these are good hitters. It's not like he's losing to a single A team and he can go home and he's saying, wow, how did I let up all those runs? He can say those are major league players that I'm going to face in the regular season. So at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. I know fans want to say, oh, trade this guy, mostly for jokes. I don't think most people are serious. But I think we're just a little upset that Team USA is not doing what we expect and being the best team in this tournament and bludgeoning these teams to death. We need a 10 spot. Why have we not gotten a 10 spot? What is the problem with this offense? Why can't Roman Anthony, Bregman, Judge, Harper and Witt? We're just not seeing it. We're just not seeing it, Ray. It's frustrating. So I get the fans at home. I get the upset stuff, but we need to kind of.
It ain't over.
Yeah, well, it's not over yet, but also let's get off the McLean isn't good train. I think, again, most people are kind of joking, but he's going to be a stud opening day. I still think he's going to have a sub-3 ERA. These are kind of the time to get these points out there too, because for you guys who are going to watch us throughout the season, we're going to refer back to these points. McLean, I think he's going to be a sub-3 ERA guy. And that's been a goal of mine that I've looked at for him, and I think he is that guy. And it's not that much of an increase in his workload. which I know was the pushback for me. I went back and looked, 160 innings. So in total, it's not like getting to 180 is this really tough climb for him, or getting to 200, dare I say, is this big climb for him. So I
There you
think
have it right there. 5 innings of 2-run ball. I mean, you have a bum on the opposite side, or 4 2/3. Oh, they're taking him out.
Yep.
Another terrible manager.
Again, I'm not looking at McLean and saying his future is in jeopardy. I look at this more as a growth opportunity. The WBC is designed to be that way. If this happened in the middle of the season, which is what I talked about before, I'll move it to the All-Star break. Then you can judge a little bit harsher, because you're in the middle of the year. You've seen McLean for 2 or 3 months. If he just randomly gets lit up by Team Mexico in the WBC, you'd be sitting here saying, well, what's going on with McLean? But right now it's spring training, essentially. So if McLean got rocked by the Cardinals in Jupiter, would we really question? We'd think about it and talk about it for a day, but then we'd turn the page. And I think a lot of us are going to have trouble turning the page tomorrow morning when all the back pages are Team USA loses to Venezuela if this score remains 2-0. So just kind of keep these ideas in mind, guys. That's all. It's not that deep.
No. And I look at how many pitches was he at when they pulled him? Did you see that? My bottom's blocked.
I could tell you in give me about 10 seconds here. I can. Trusty Score app. They're not a partner, but hopefully maybe we could partner with the Score app. McLean was that. Oh, they're gonna not tell you, are they? These WBC stats are like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Let's see. Does it show you here?
Maybe the Bleacher Report app will show you.
Oh, it was a wild pitch assessed in McLean. He had 63 pitches. 44 of them were for strikes. He faced 18 batters. He went 4 2/3, 4 hits.
Yeah, so 63 pitches. I mean, what are we doing here?
1 walk, 4 strikeouts, a home run, and a 5.87 ERA for McLean.
Well, it's because he had one bad start, the one before.
He had a 9 ERA against Italy. Those 2 home runs in 3 1/3 innings or whatever he went. So we will see. But yeah, in the game now is Brad Keller.
Yeah, these comments are hysterical.
I get
guys are feeling good on a Tuesday night.
I get the frustration. I think we're all frustrated that Team USA can't be mowing these teams down. I'm right there with you guys. We're the United States of America. We're the greatest country on earth. People leave their country to come here. I mean, what else do we have to say? Like, we should be the best team in every sport, if you want the truth. We should be getting gold in the Olympics every year or every 4 years. But, tip your cap to some of these countries, man. Venezuela, there's some dogs. Like, they love baseball too, So I get both sides of it. But yes, some of these comments are pretty funny. Jonah Tong should have been in this game. Oh man, he would pitch for Team Canada before he.
Let's bring something up while we're in the delay right now. Anybody who's a fan of MLB The Show, they did the Mets so dirty. So dirty. AJ Ewing has a C potential. Like, what are we doing? Jonah Tong, C potential. They think the Mets farm sucks.
Yeah, they do that, Ray. And I actually pre-ordered MLB. I've been playing it these past few days. If you guys do want to play Splash with Cash on PS5, but that's a quick little nugget. That's why, yeah, it's fun for 2K. It's not as fun for MLB, but yes.
Dan Moneybag 67.
It's funny. I made that when I was like 13. I'm like, no one's gonna have this nickname, and no one did. So cool. But they and I looked at the thing you sent too with the Simeon being an 85. They do that.
Bro, what? And an A potential.
Yeah. They just don't want the game of baseball to go from this guy is a 90 to a 60. I mean, that's disrespectful to Marcus Semien, but also it would kind of erode the game of baseball if regression is
Well,
shown that quickly.
I found out about that. They're like, oh, we're tweaking regression this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Older players are going to hold on to their potential so they don't.
I love
I'll never
that.
forget years ago when David Ortiz was, 38 and hitting 50 homers. He'd start the season at like a 94 overall, and by the end of the year, he's like a 60. Like
No, I
that's
love
what would happen.
yeah, I love that. This show's cool. It's
Well, it's the
cool.
same game every year.
Right. So for me, it's just kind of just playing Diamond Dynasty, collecting some cards. But overall, yeah, guys, we'll try to bring you some MLB The Show content if we have some off days in the summer, some warm days, things like that. So, but this WBC, like, I just have a hard time getting past that we're the United States. And yes, Mark DeRosa, he got booed. If anyone who heard the opening ceremonies to this game,
Good, he should.
completely booed. And you could tell he was kind of wearing it on his chest because I know personally that DeRosa is more of a guy who does wear his heart on his chest type of guy. So he might have been a little sensitive to it. I think he kind of understands that he messed up, and he's talked about it a lot, but you can't mess up that bad. And luckily they're in the position that they are now. It's a little bit better on him. Like, people have kind of forgotten about all of the blunders at this point. But if USA loses tonight, I think a lot of it is just going to be brought back again. And any decision he makes at the end of this game, I think DeRosa was already in the crapper, if you will, by starting Bregman over Henderson. But other than that, I mean, he could put in Goldschmidt at the end of this game. He grounds out to end the WBC, and DeRosa's going to hear, pitchforks after the game and see those. So, quickly, KV in the comments, I don't ever want to hear that soccer is a boring sport. What the F is this? Baseball is cool. We got treated to a 2-1 game in the semifinals against the DR. That was a great game. Like, pitching duels in baseball are cool. Like, and this is where people say, oh, you've never played the game. I ask you, if you never played the game, that you don't think a pitcher's duel is cool, So I don't know. I
More
think
weak contact.
like,
And
if
it's not
this,
like
I would love, right, real quick, final point, and then I'll shut up for a few minutes. If this game stays a 2-0 game till the 9th inning, that's a good game. Like, I want the USA to come back in a close one, not just,
are they pulling him?
Yeah, they are.
Well, that's what happens with the pitch limits.
Out of the game.
You'd be embarrassed that they got shut down. I mean, Aaron Judge, the destroyer of lefties. What is going on here? And guys, I always say this too, and I see Rich Rich Boy brought it up. The chemistry sucks. At the end of the day, baseball is more of an individual sport than anything. I mean, how many teams you think everybody on the Dodgers loves each other? No, it's just good talent. When Freddie Freeman comes up and it's second and third, no outs, he's going to get the guy home. It has nothing to do with chemistry.
No, it has nothing to do with chemistry. You don't have to like the people you work with as long as you're nice to them. Like, that's kind of a rule of life. Like, you learn pretty early in life with classmates in school. You don't get to choose your classmates, and you're kind of stuck in the different levels, first grade, second, third, different kids. You kind of have to figure out your way. And it's the same way in the work world. It's the same way in college classes. It's the same way on these teams. Now, in certain instances, if you're a superstar, you see this in the NBA all the time. James Harden doesn't like Kyrie Irving or whatever, and you gotta, things gotta move on. Or with the Mets, hate to say it, Francisco Lindor didn't like Pete Alonso, didn't like Jeff McNeil, didn't like Brandon Nimmo. Get him out of the clubhouse. The Mets did that, and here we are today. So I don't think it's like the biggest thing. Like, everybody has to get along. No, but certain tendencies.
Judge is 0 for 2 today.
Yeah, 0 for 2 has not gotten a hit. So
let's do the math.
But no, you don't have to love your teammates, everybody. That is a misconception.
Yeah. So he's hitting 222 this World Series Classic. 222. Bryce Harper is, that's 28. Oh my God. Bryce Harper's hitting 142 this World Classic. Byron Buxton is hitting 0. Doesn't have a hit the entire Classic.
No, he doesn't. Not good. So again, DeRosa's going to be.
Who's up right now? Bregman?
Yeah. Will Smith.
Oh, okay. I'm a little behind you.
DeRosa's going to get killed on any of these decisions, Ray. That's just the reality. But you can't lose to these teams. I hate to put that pressure on America, but it's.
Jeez, that was right down the pipe.
You cannot lose this game. This is not a good look. It's not, oh, we got to the WBC Final.
Well, let's hold off. I'm not totally. So we still have a half a game nearly.
Sure. But they've shown no signs of life so far. So I don't, they gotta prove it.
This guy's overthrowing who they brought in. Is that true? Jeff Passan said that we need to have more diversity in baseball.
Did he?
Someone sent that to me. Pretty sure more than half the league is not American, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very diverse game.
McLean's fastest pitch today, 99.2. Oh, what are you looking at?
Not good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're talking about more diverse. Like more diverse in what? We need taller people. We need smaller people. We need.
He was speaking ethnicity.
I know, yes, of course. But even then, what ethnicity do we need more of? Like the game itself, you have a large Cuban denomination. You have definitely Puerto Rican. You have Dominican. You have Mexican. You have Italian. You have American. You have Brazilian, you have Argentinian, you have Venezuelan. I don't know what else baseball is a melting pot. It's been for a long time. Look at the NBA and tell me that's a diverse league. I mean, what are we talking about? I respect Jeff Passan. I'm the second best journalist in this country when it comes to baseball. But what are we talking about more?
Oh, fastball right down the kisser.
What are we? Yeah, more Irish, Jimmy. Maybe we need more Irish people in the game. I'm cool with that. Sign me up.
You know what I think it is, Dan? I think I figured it out for this team. I think Aaron Judge's speech was just so overwhelming. Guys were just so enthusiastic that they just can't get over it. Guys, we just gotta, lay it on the line. Unreal.
It's like Garrett Cole.
Sean Manaea today on a good note in Jupiter at Miami. 4 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 walks, 4 Ks, 0 runs, 52 pitches. His velocity is still down, though. His fastball's averaging 88 miles per hour, 88.3. He is cooked. We could all try to sugarcoat it. We know that doesn't play in Major League Baseball today. He's throwing against a bunch of guys you never heard of. When I'm watching he topped out at 89.9. It's just another weak ground ball.
Manaea is so interesting. Again, if it's the bone spurs in his elbow that are holding his velocity back, get the surgery now. Like, I can't stress that.
Should have got it back in October.
Right. So if we're going to admit that's the problem, just do that. But I'm not going to tell him what to do. So say he pushes through it, and that's not ultimately the reason his velocity's down. It's more maybe just training regimen and ramp up and all that. If that's the case, he's going to the bullpen very quickly. There is a chance, just based on how everything is slotting down. And I know it's tough to kind of follow these pieces as spring training's going, the WBC. That's why you have us at Metcast. Huáscar Brazoban is in this bullpen. Carlos Mendoza said it. it is final. So he is there. You have one spot remaining in this pen. You have one lefty currently in this pen with AJ Minter out till May 1st at the least. You have only Brooks Raley. Is it Brian Hudson? Is it Craig Kimbrell? Or is it Sean Manaea as that second?
It's got to be. He's got to be the. But here's the thing: if you are David Stearns, how do you go to Steve Cohen and say, Steve, we're going to spend $25 million this year and next year on Manaea being a long man? You already had that. Unless you're going to move Tobias Myers into the starting rotation, which you don't need to. You could run the 5-man and make Manaea the bullpen guy. But once you do that, you can't go back. You know what I mean by that? It's like, what were lefty splits against him last year?
You can go back. I mean, you just have to piggyback him with someone and go from there. But we saw that last year. Clay Holmes and Sean Manaea was a good piggyback. Like Kodai Senga and Sean Manaea, I think would be a very good piggyback. David Peterson. I mean, he's probably too good. He's probably standalone. He could be a starter, as we all know. But say you had
lefties hit him better last year than righties. You believe that?
That's insane. Like,
I mean, the OPS for average, the OPS is way less. Right-handers averaged 836 OPS against Manaea last year. That is insane. Lefties 643, so below league average, but they still hit just under 260 against him.
That is insane. I think in a perfect world for me, and this would never happen, but you have two piggybacks instead of one. You would have, as these guys are getting older, and say we re-sign Peterson, we give him the qualifying offer, he's back next year. You have everything lined up where all of the guys at the end of next year would be done. Holmes, who's probably going to opt out anyway, but say he's back. You have Senga would be done. Manaea would be done. All at the same time at the end of 2027, their contracts expire. So if that's the case, you piggyback, just live in this world, Holmes and Peterson, Senga and Manaea. That opens two spots in the rotation for a Christian Scott, for a Jonah Tong. It puts way less pressure on your bullpen, which is very important. And I think that could work. Now, they probably only go with one piggyback and want to keep Peterson as a starter. Senga, all reports look that he's very good to begin the year. So there's a lot of mixing and matching that we're going to see pretty quick in the season, Ray.
I know. Burns brought up a great point. Shout out to you, Burns, for being a member, guys. If you want to best way to support the channel, become a member down in the description below. You guys could remember met great Al Leiter. He would throw 150 pitches over 5 innings and come back and do it again and never hit the DL. Good times. You want to talk about somebody, go look at Seaver. How many complete games? Like, it's a different day and age. It just is. Players are babied. And a lot of people actually think that might be what attributes a lot to these injuries that we're always seeing. You know?
It's a big problem. I don't want to go into a whole diatribe because Jimmy is a great listener and Jimmy is a great friend and Jimmy knows the conversations that we've had and what length of some of these conversations. And that's one of them where we could just continue to talk about the game where it is and is it really good where it is right now? Sure. The product is great. The velocity is up. And then I've run into a chainsaw right there, right? Because it's like, oh, velocity is good for the game. It's exciting to watch pitchers throw hard, but it's also hurting the pitchers. Like there's pushbacks to everything. Pitchers not going long enough. But then if we did give them an unlimited leash and they could go 250 innings a year, do we see more injuries because they're throwing harder? Maybe. Most likely. So I think there's pushbacks to everything. I'm going to be honest. Old-time baseball was better. It just was. Pick any era. It just was.
Well, think of how many guys are trying to hit 300 and not hit the ball out of the park. I guess that's not what you recognize nowadays. GW puts it perfect. I agree with you. We're really talking about piggyback before the season even starts. Not a good sign, but I think It's down to this. It's either going to be Mania or Senga going in the pen. And if spring training means anything, which we all know for most of us, it means absolutely nothing. But if it does mean anything, Mania's got to be the one going to the pen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Senga's not going to accept an assignment back to AAA, I don't believe. Not off of the spring training that he's had.
No, absolutely not. Why would you? Why would you if you're Kodai Senga? Trade me before you send me back to AAA. I'm good enough to pitch in the major leagues. Like, that's what he should be saying, and I think he should be believing. And he already opted not to be traded. The Mets, we've talked about this. The Mets approached him this offseason and tried to trade him, and he said no. So here we are. You're going to pitch where we tell you to pitch, and that's kind of it. But he's going to start in the rotation. I would dare to say that Mania is going to start in the rotation too, and just they have Brian Hudson up here as that final arm. But Craig Kimbrell needs to make this team too. So it was weird to hear that they were so confident about Brazoban, who pitched in the WBC recently against USA. He's a great pitcher. I have no problems with Brazoban, but does that mean that Craig Kimbrell really isn't going to get a spot with this Mets team? I have a hard time believing that, based on seeing him in person, based on reading about him and everyone raving about him behind closed doors. It's going to be a very weird final spot. You're seeing with the Yankees right now. Is it Brent Hedrick? Is it LeGrande? Is it ERC? I mean, there's a lot of guys in that fold. So I don't know what the Mets are going to do. You can't go into the season with one lefty. I don't think that's really smart. But then you're not having Craig Kimbrell.
You also have, that might also only be for 1 month because you have Minter coming back.
Yeah, but say we're facing the Phillies and it's a 3-game series, and I don't know, pick.
Right, you got Schwarber, Harper.
Right, and Raley gets through them in a tough 7th inning. You have to go to Raley to get them out, and then the order comes back around, and Raley can't pitch in the 9th inning.
All right,
you don't have a lefty to go after those guys, so. I don't know, Ray. I really don't.
Just Baseball put this out 26 minutes ago. Since the 5th inning of the semifinals, the Team USA is 2 for 28, 0.71 average. Now Armstrong flies out, 2 for 29, 0 extra base hits, 0 runs, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts. Led by Aaron Judge and Bryce Harper.
Not good.
But shout out to my Islanders, another win.
Nice. Yeah, and Jose Budo mowing us down. Not good. Will Vest in the bullpen for Team USA. Bobby Witt Jr. is so good, and I just want to give him a shout-out because he's up at the plate right now.
WBC.
I think we as Mets fans, we love Lindor, and he's definitely the best shortstop in the National League. It's not close who the best shortstop in baseball is. Yeah. That's Bobby Witt. And it's just great to see him on the world stage. Such a quick bat, such a good glove, such a speedy machine, if you will. So all good as he you'll see it in a couple of seconds, fouls out here to Luis Arraez down the right field line.
Dude, this team is terrible.
Not good.
When's the last hard hit ball you've seen?
Judge's single in the semis. I mean,
deplorable Dave. You're totally right. I feel like I'm watching the Mets mid-season. He's so right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Look at everyone in the dugout. They all just have stoic faces. They're like, when's this over?
This is not a good showing. Mets need some luck of the Irish right now on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, they're down to what, 10 outs?
Come on, Metcalf family. We need you, Team USA. Let's go. Come on, guys.
Just gotta get a dink and a blast, you know?
This is the best players in the world. These are...
Yeah, allegedly.
You know?
Yeah, Burns puts it out there. I saw that too. Atlanta's already seeing pitching injuries. Yep.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Philly fans and Yankee fans to try to put this on McLean. Like 2 runs is supposed to. Oh, got to hold them under 2.
You got to hit, guys. You got to start hitting.
Yeah, tell Harper not to swing.
Not good, guys. Not good.
That's crazy. His sweeper averaged 3186 RPM on it. Talk about advanced analytics for you guys.
Harper down the right field line. And he'll hold it first for a single as Acuna gets it in, and here comes Team USA. Up comes the captain, Aaron Judge.
Big spot for Judge. What will he do? Oh, we all know what's happening here. We all know what's about to happen here.
Come on, Judge, baby.
Probably the only time in my life I actually rooting for Aaron Judge.
Little Budo versus Judge. I think he actually has some good numbers against him. If remember, there's McAfee on the. Of course, they got to go to McAfee. Budo sets, fires the pitch.
Wonder how expensive these tickets were.
I don't know how expensive they were. They were definitely up there, a couple $100 for sure. I don't think they were getting into the thousands, because I know for the semis, DR, you could $230. You were in the building, and that was pretty close to game time and pretty good seats. So $300 probably gets you in the building and a beer and a hot dog. I would think. Maybe even some.
I wonder how much are the Mets season tickets? How much are opening day tickets right now? They're gonna tank. I looked. It's supposed to be like 30 degrees opening day.
See you there, right?
As of right now, yeah. I don't know if I'll be doing a live before the show, though. I'll tell you right now.
That might be tough, guys. We'll see.
Let's see. Get-in price, $113.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to see from there.
Hey, guys, if you are going to be an opening day, excuse me.
Right down the kicker.
You gotta swing there. We will be at opening day. We'd love to meet some of you guys and grab a nice.
It's so funny. What is a Saturday? Look, I'm looking where I typically sit. It's like $100. Let's see. Saturday. Oh, 410 game Saturday. It's so funny. Get-in price is $30.
Oh, I'll actually be at Citi Field tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Aaron Judge, right down the middle. What are you looking for, bro?
Come on, Aaron.
What is it? 3-1 the count? What are you looking for?
3-2 count, 2 outs, 2-0 to the captain, Aaron Judge. Runner on first. Budo sets, fires. Judge smokes one down to third, gobbles it up, and slings it over, and he's out of the inning.
He's terrible.
Jose,
bro, that hit right in front of home plate.
Venezuela up 2-1, 2-0.
Dude, he is terrible.
Oh, Ray. Oh, what are we gonna do? This is not good. Guys, we got to lock in. USA, you're embarrassing us right now. This is
Aaron Judge.
Come on.
What? Oh, my gosh. Dude.
Like, what are we doing? This is where Yankee fans, and again, I can see why Yankee fans don't put this guy in their top 10 of all time unless he wins a ring. Like, that's what you have to do. You're a great player. You're arguably a top 5 player in statistics when it comes to how good you could be and your peak and all that. But you're not going to be remembered, Aaron Judge, if you don't win a ring. And a WBC ring does not count. I want to make that clear. Like, to Yankee fans specifically, it matters to us and to everybody who's a baseball fan, of course, but to Yankee fans specifically, with the pinstripes on their mind, they don't give a rat's behind if Judge brings home a WBC. They want to, raise the title in the Bronx. So I don't know, guys. It's we got a couple more innings here, and we'll see what happens.
Photoshop the hell out of this.
He dropped the ball.
Oh, dude, wait till you see this fastball right down the kisser that he took. You're going to be like, what are you doing?
He dropped the ball. This is the most embarrassing thing, Jimmy says, we've done as a country since Prince let Harry and Meghan Markle back into the country. Yeah, I mean, it's up there, Jimmy. It's certainly up there. I'm trying to think of other embarrassing moments as a country. Obviously, we've had many, but I think that's up there, Jimmy. I do. I
Jimmy,
think
thanks for the great insight.
Letting the Grimace Mets run free, that was pretty embarrassing as a country. Letting the Patriots become a dynasty, I think that's pretty embarrassing as a country. That 3-1 fastball doesn't get much. Yeah, what are we looking at, GW? What are we looking at as PCA checks in the game in center? Replaces Byron Buxton. Oh, guys, we gotta start a chant here. USA, USA. One thing about these WBC games, very cool to kind of see the wave be a thing that is just so normalized. Getting a wave started at Citi Field is like pulling teeth. It's like near impossible to do. And I get a lot of people are watching the game, a lot of New York-based audience. They don't want to be bothered with that kind of shenanigans. I'm well aware, especially on a 90-degree day in August. Nobody wants to stand and do the wave. But the WBC, like getting a wave started was so easy. And then seeing it go around loanDepot Park 2 or 3 times, even 4 times to an extent, it was some of the coolest baseball environment I've ever been a part of. So, these events are really cool, guys. We're not throwing shade at the WBC. I just want to make it clear, at least from my vantage point, I don't want to speak for Ray. It's nowhere close to winning a World Series. And I don't think to these players it truthfully is either. I just think in the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Give me one second.
They're national pride, and it's all important, but as Ezekiel Tovar rips a single into left center field off of Will Vest, Roman Anthony gobbles it up and gets it in.
Dan, look what I just posted on X. I'm gonna post it also on the YouTube post. So if you guys are subscribed, you'll see it.
Let's see, Ray.
Bro. What's up, Aaron? We'll start calling him Aaron.
Yo, Aaron.
A comedy skit at this point.
What are you looking at?
Dude, look where that pitch is.
Yeah, fastball right down the pipe. Right down the pipe, Ray. Right down the pipe.
I just posted it. Wish you could pin things in the chat. Yo, this is just absurd.
It really is.
My father-in-law goes Aaron Dud, and he's a diehard Yankee fan.
Wow. Shout out real quick to the locals, Hofstra, Siena, certainly St. John's and LIU.
No one cares. Hook them.
All going to the tournament. Just want to give them their credit. But speaking of another tournament, USA here in the finals, and you gotta get something going if you're the Americans right now. But we'll see.
First of all, it starts with pitching now and not giving up anything more.
Let's go, Jody. Let's go. USA all the way, guys. USA all the way. Maybe they all just want to go home. Maybe, Jimmy. You know?
Put Edwin Diaz in the close. I know he's not on the team, but at least we have a shot. Hey, Jody, finally caught alive. How's it going?
Let's go.
Some positive vibes.
If this team doesn't score in the 8th inning, they're not scoring in the 9th. That's the way I see this game right
Let's
now.
just start calling him Aaron. Dude, anybody who follows us on X, I'll make it the pin tweet. Go look at what this guy just took. 3-1 down the kisser. The first comment, he looks scared. Dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah, he does. He does look scared tonight. I don't know what it is. Like, is it the emotions that Judge talked about the other night that we just talked about, where hey, the WBC crowds are nothing like the World Series? I get the emotion of that. I get the nervousness of that. That's all valid. But you can't act
but
like
he wasn't even the best player on the World Series team. We all know that Yankee team was led by Juan Soto. It was not even a question.
Yeah.
You know, he was the heart and soul of that team. Let's, you know.
Oh, sure. But
Of course. Is that a double down the line?
No. The environment of it, you've been in big environments, Aaron. I don't understand why this environment is more nervous to you from that perspective. Like, you've played in a World Series. You didn't win it, but you played in a World Series. You can handle pressure. Why all of a sudden now it's like, and the ghost of Aaron Judge not being able to hit in the postseason, that was gone this past year. So that is
dude. I refuse. If you're in a postseason every year and you suck 9 out of 10 years, that doesn't mean that it's all of a sudden gone. You know, and let's be honest too. Let's look at the actual stats. He had a bunch of singles. It's not like it was not Juan Soto led Yankees where they knew if they threw him a pitch, it was getting hit out of the park. You know what I mean? John, what's going on? Hope all is well with you. One of our members. Appreciate you being in here.
Aaron Judge, a lot of
people checking in on this now.
He hit 500 with 13 hits, 1 home run over the 7 games with 7 RBIs. He slugged .692. I mean,
isn't that crazy? 6'9". Yeah, well, yeah, he got a lot of hits.
That's why I'm saying, like, we can't carry that into this now. It's like he's just not a clutch player, maybe in general. Maybe like you're saying, maybe it was just one good year. Like, could be. I just don't think it's unfair to him. I don't want to be unfair to Aaron Judge. He's just not having a good WBC right now. This final, he's looks scared, as one of our listeners said. So, not good. Not good. But the USA will get a chance to bat now.
Dude, I cannot. I'm still looking at that pitch.
He gone. Mark Vientos not having a good camp for the Mets, as you guys are well aware. 1 for 25. You know, so Elian Pena, good to expect big things from him. He's playing well down there.
Yep.
So
check your DMs.
Check my DMs.
I hope everybody's doing well this Tuesday. I am so pumped for opening day. I feel like this was the longest offseason ever. Last year we had the Pete Alonso, the Juan Soto, the Manaea Severino debate. Who's coming? Who's going? Will the Mets retain, Jose Iglesias? He's a free agent right now, right? Let me look. Is he a Padre right now, or they cut him?
Who? I'm sorry. I checked. I think he still is.
I thought he was. I gotta double check that. MLB The Show says he's a free agent, but we don't know.
Who again?
Iglesias.
Oh, he's a free agent. Sorry. Yeah, he's a free agent. He has not been signed. I don't know where he's gonna go. He continues to be kind of.
Is he
I don't
even
want
in
to
a
say
camp?
no, he has not been signed at all. I don't
Maybe
know
he'll
what.
call Bartolo Colon. But by the way, Bartolo's still dominant in the Mexican League.
I don't know why the
Isn't that
industry
crazy?
doesn't think Iglesias can still play. I mean, he's a great player. He didn't have a good year in 25, but you guys think Pete thinks about us as much as fans talk about him? Jimmy says
No.
probably not.
I equivalent it like this, guys. Say you were drafted by, I don't know, the Padres. You went through the organization, but you're a Mets fan your whole life. And then, the Angels come calling and you go sign with them. It might sting at first, but it's not like he's like grew up a Mets fan, having that attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought I'd see a Mets fan say that, Jody. Come on, Schwarber.
Schwarber.
The comments on that post are hysterical.
And for the Mets fans, like freaking out that the Mets let Nolan McLean start in this game.
Is it up to the Mets?
Yeah, they can tell the WBC not to start him. Absolutely.
But do they have a right to do that? Like, I know, like, teams are not allowed to tell them they can't go.
They could put, how about this? They can put pitch limits. That's a restriction. So they can say to the WBC.
I'm sure the Mets could say, no, we don't want you pitching. I mean, regardless of how well he pitched last year, nothing's guaranteed to him as a prospect.
But the fans like blaming the Mets, saying, why did they put him out there? This is the WBC Finals. Like, this is a great opportunity for McLean to get exposure on the world stage. Like, you don't turn that down.
They're actually going to get shut out, man.
It's not good, guys. It's not good. I might leave this live early. If they don't score soon, I might just pack it in.
I got to be up so early for work too.
Like, this is kind of ridiculous. So
take it through this half.
Yeah.
If they don't score, we'll be out.
Let's show some signs of life here, USA. Come on. Look at Judge staring there. And I love Judge, man. He is such a good player, but as Bregman, why are you starting this game? Put Gunnar Henderson in the game, DeRosa. What are we doing? Last time with the runner in scoring position, the 4th inning against the Dominican Republic.
Eduardo Rodriguez, the last 2 seasons, 2024, 50 innings pitched, 5.04 ERA. Last year, 154 in the 3rd inning pitch, 5.02 ERA. Versus Team USA was 1 for 13, 4 strikeouts. Supposed to be a god lineup.
I mean, this is where I get frustrated very quickly with just people that talk baseball, because yes, the USA should win this game. It's embarrassing. I agree, but it's also baseball. It's such a hard sport. It's the most difficult sport, and I get it. These teams should be bludgeoning them to death. These are much better pitchers and hitters on the American side, but you're still facing good guys. Zerpa's in the big leagues. Like, Rodriguez is in the big leagues. Jose Buto's in the big leagues. So I don't know. Is it that much of a gut punch? Yes, but is it also that much of a gut punch that I'm not going to go home and sleep soundly tonight? No,
Yeah, by tomorrow you'll forget about it. I get it.
Right. If this was the Mets and the Yankees in the World Series in October, oh baby, we're gonna have, that's what you really care about. But you know, and we're not trying to make this about race, if anything, but we're trying to make it about the health of these players. The tournament is exciting, and it's just it can be a little bit better. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying things can have some improvements along the way. The WBC can be improved. Amazing Day with the Mets can be improved. That's why they didn't do it this year.
That
So
kind of stinks.
I'll be at Citi Field tomorrow, Ray, because of that taste test. What's new with the Mets with the
Oh,
food?
you got to let us know.
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything new that you guys would like. I know Ray, enjoys the Pat LaFrida's steak sandwich, so
Yeah,
I'll
because
see.
Dan doesn't.
No, I love that sandwich, man. On the sourdough bread with the onions.
Is that the half? Or they make a change?
They made a change.
Holding out hope here.
Yeah, Anthony walked. And
maybe we get a dinger.
Yeah.
Call in Big Al. Remember that?
Yeah. Polymarket
Hi, my name's Big Al and I hit dingers. Polymarket has 72% on Venezuela and 29% on USA.
Yeah, what I'm really excited for
is
is
100. What isn't that 101%?
That's yeah.
That's probably decimal points.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Jody.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
I'm excited for the post games to see it. We got a lot of good things coming up.
A lot of good things. And I think there's an inning, speaking with Mendy, I believe it's going to be a game in July that Ray, because he's been so good with Metcast, he's actually going to be able to throw a couple innings for the Mets at some July games. So excited to see when they'll call him up. But yeah.
Did you guys see what Barstool tweeted out?
No,
Aaron Judge, when the country needs him the most, it's Frank the Tank holding a baseball bat.
Oh, that's pretty accurate.
It's Frank Fleming, bro. I just reposted it. That is hysterical.
That's funny. All right, USA, come on. Do something here. Will Smith with a runner on, tying run at the plate. First pitch, fouled away. Machado on the mound, Smith at the plate. Roman Anthony at first in a 2-run game here in the 7th. That pitch taken right down the middle. Strike 2. Bro, he swung at a pitch that hit him.
I'm a little behind. I gotta see this.
He swung at a pitch that hit him. I'm done. This game's cooked. He swung at a pitch that hit him. This is what happens when in MLB The Show when you have no idea what you're doing and you swing.
This is when you put it on legendary mode.
Yep.
You're hitting X as it's getting delivered.
Holy crap! You're gonna see that meme everywhere tomorrow.
And then he pops out. How many lazy pop? There hasn't even been line drive outs. Like, this is nuts. I agree, Burns. Maybe Eric Chavez is the hitting coach.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
Let's go USA.
Again, giving you guys content. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good night.
You guys have a great.